Passengers arrive at Chicago's LaSalle Street Station as New York Central's famed 20th Century Limited prepares to begin its run to New York. The train was one of the best known of its day, and the name still reverberates over 40 years after its last run. The train was aimed at upper and business class travelers, featuring top-of-the-line dining car service and first-class sleeping car accommodations. One name was synonymous with the first-class service of the century, Pullman. Our journey takes us to downtown Chicago, Illinois. Chicago is the heart of Amtrak's long-distance passenger network, serving as a hub with spokes reaching the east, west, and Gulf coasts. Chicago is also the base for regional trains to Michigan, Wisconsin, Missouri, and downstate Illinois. In the inspection shed in the yard south of Union Station, two of Iowa Pacific's restored cars are coupled to the rear of Amtrak number 59, the southbound City of New Orleans. Once the mechanical department is finished inspecting the train, it is moved from the shed to a yard track where the commissary department can load supplies for the run to the Crescent City. It's shortly after 7 o'clock when the train is taken downtown to the station to load our passengers. At the station, red caps help with baggage as passengers board the train. Right on time at 8:05, the train backs out of Union Station, beginning our 19-hour journey to New Orleans. Moving forward and up the St. Charles Airline toward the former Illinois Central Main Line, we meet Pullman conductor Jody Moore.
This has been a long-term goal for our president at Ellis, President of Iowa Pacific. It's something that he's been looking forward to doing for quite some time, and I think the idea, the genesis of it, it goes back to his youth. He grew up in Paducah, Kentucky, and IC was something he fell in love with. But really, the Pullman way of doing things has always stood out as the quintessential passenger car service method. And so, to really be able to recreate that was to bring something that had been kind of lost.
Crossing the old route of the 20th Century Limited at 16th Street, we leave downtown with the lights of the Chicago skyline for a backdrop. The next morning finds us in the Mississippi Delta as the train makes its stop in Greenwood. This is the former Illinois Central's Yazoo district from Memphis to Jackson via Yazoo City.
They call it porter in charge, but also conductor, so just depending on the crew. I would be a conductor because I've been qualified for conductor, but we do have a porter in charge position where it's for porters that are in charge, but they have not been qualified as conductors.
It's Sunday afternoon, and we are beginning the northbound run to Chicago as the train leaves the bumping post at New Orleans Union Passenger Terminal. On the double-track main line north of town, we meet southbound 59 before entering the single-track main through the Bayou Country and along Lake Pontchartrain. It's time for lunch in the Pontchartrain Club as we pass through the Louisiana Bayou.
I thought that's what you were pointing at.
A couple hours later, we make an extended stop at Jackson, Mississippi. It's here that we change engineers. Our new engineer, Mr. J.B. Allen, plans to keep us right on time. Back along the route of today's city of New Orleans, it's after dark as the train arrives in Greenwood, Mississippi. 10 p.m. and we stop at Memphis, Tennessee. "20 miles into Illinois, we meet a second edition of our southbound counterpart. The sun is rising over the Illinois prairies the next morning as we slow through Rantoul. Passengers are enjoying a first-class breakfast as we charge through the home stretch on our journey to the Windy City.
These are all restored original Pullman cars. The dining is first class.
An American legend is reborn as Pullman has returned. All aboard for a first-class experience in the grand tradition.